Hey and welcome to this video. So in this video we are gonna create a home page, about page, contact page, and the admin dashboard, and view and edit blog post. So we are not gonna focus on adding content into those pages, anything. At the moment we're just gonna create the controllers and set up the routes so it actually won't be accessible. So this is gonna be a little longer video, I will say so. But we are gonna create all of the routes that we need at the moment. Unless any of you might have any suggestions what we could add to this of the futures here, you can comment it below, and then I might make a video, and then I can walk you through how to implement it on this project. But at the moment, that's what we're gonna do. So first of all, we can remove this here and then just call it to this page here. And then if we go into our controllers here, we have the home controller, and the home controller, as you can see here, if we just want PHP artisan serve, then go in like this. If you just go in here, you see you need to log in. So we don't want this to be a requirement actually. So we're gonna remove this middleware here. Then we should be able to access the home page here. And then of course what we need to do is now we need to go inside the home.blade.php, and we should of course remove the fact that this says you're logged in unless you are actually logged in. So we're gonna keep this for now. We are not actually gonna use this in our project, but we are gonna keep this for now, and we are gonna just add in a guest here. So if you are a guest, it will say div welcome, and if you're not a guest, it will and then say this here. So what we need to do in here is we need to say indiv, the same as before. Alright, so now that we have actually added this in here, what we can do now is we can go in and open up a new terminal. Then we can go in and say PHP artisan make controller about controller. And then if we go in here, we have the about controller, and then we can run this command again and say contact controller. And then we need to run this command again and the same admin controller. And we are gonna wait a little bit with the blog controller because we are gonna add in some more content to that later on. So now that we have those controllers created here, we can go in here and we can add some routes. So let's get started with these routes. So first route we need to create is we need to create a route called about me, or about, depends on how you want the URL to be. I will just say about. Then I will say about controller, and just use the index function, call this about, and then we can go in here and say contact, call this contact here, and then we need to have admin. Then we can say this is admin controller, and then call this admin, And then we also need to have the blocks ones in there, but we are gonna focus on that later. So now we need to go in and create the index functions. So let's go in first actually and look at our home controller and what we do here. So what we do is we have a function and then we return a view when you actually access the home page. So when you go into your website like this, then you will return the view we have here. So we would like to do this with the other ones too. So what we can do is we can go into our views folder here and we can go in and say new folder and call this pages. Then we can go in and we can also remove this one because we don't need the welcome anymore. So if you just go and delete this one if you want to. But what you can do then is we can go in and weight this from pages home like this, and then it should hopefully still work like before. And then we can go in here and add some other files. So the files we want to add in here is first of all about blade.php, and then we want to add contact.blade.php, and then we want to create some subfolders in here. So we're gonna create a subfolder because we're gonna have a lot of files related to this one, admin, and then we're gonna create another subfolder and we're gonna call this plug. So those two subfolders we're gonna inside here we are gonna add just for the start index.blade.php. Then later on we will add other ones in here, and then in here we are gonna add index.blade.php, which will be view blog posts, because we're gonna have all of our blog posts inside here. So then we're gonna have a page called edit.blade.php, and I would say that's all files we need for now. So if we just go in and close some of these files here, and then we go into our controllers again, inside our home controller, we can copy and paste this code here. You don't have to add the comment, that's your decision of course. And then we can say index in here is going to be page admin index, and then inside contact controller we need to say page contact, and then inside about controller we're going to say page about. So at the moment this is all of the controllers we have created. So now if we go in here and say about, it will most likely just turn out completely blank. And you might be wondering, why don't we have the navigation bar then? Well, the reason why is because we haven't extended it yet. So if we go in here to our home here, you can see we have extends layout.app, and then we have section content. So you need to add this into all of those here. Then we also need to say end section. At the moment we are just gonna leave them blank. And we are also gonna go into index here. You're gonna go into blog. And if we then go in and refresh now, you will actually be able to see this part. where you actually have the about here, and then we can go in contact and admin, and of course admin will be protected, so you will not be allowed to access admin page unless you actually are an admin. Then you will just be redirected back to the old one. So we're gonna look at that in another video where we will protect the admin dashboard, but at the moment we are just gonna focus on creating all of the pages. So if we then go in here and say we just go in here to our terminal, and then we say PHP artisan make controller block controller, and then we go inside our routes, and then we're gonna say block routes. We're not gonna focus on creating the post either or anything like that. At the moment we're just gonna focus on making all of the pages visible. So we're gonna say post, and then we're gonna say ID, and then we're gonna say post edit ID, and then we can call this new post, and we can call this edit.post. So the thing is, this will be a part of when we actually create the blog post here. So we will not work on creating those functions here. We will just have the functions, and then we will focus on making those work later on when we actually implement the blog system. So now we should go in here and call this edit. So inside our block controller, we will then have here, and then we need to say public function index, and then we need to say public function edit. And then those is gonna return the views here. So we can just return the views now, and then we can change it so it actually will work later on. At the moment it would just not give us any the desired result we actually need, because we haven't created the migration files and all of that for that yet. So we created something inside page block, and then index, and then we also have inside edit. So the last thing we need to focus on now is actually just adding in the routes into our page for about, contact, and admin. And we're going to do that in the next video, so this video won't be way too long for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any features or suggestions you want me to add into this blog, you will just comment it, and then I will actually look into it, and I might make a video about it. Thank you very much.